I've been sober for a year and I want to say 2 months now. So I'm making this video. Get into it. It's gonna be kind of a long video. If I can get some food, snacks, drinks, whatever. So my name is Mike. There was known on Instagram as Mike Wasabi or Impalermike on other Twitter and all that other stuff. I'm 27. Was a power lifter. I've been lifting for 10 years. Yeah, anyways, besides all that stuff. Many people that have known me throughout the years have known that I don't like really drinking or taking any substances. Going into high school, I never really drank, and it was more so just like I would just do it to do it back then in high school. Not really like, oh, I need to do this, I need to do that, you know, none of that. So yeah, my first drink was probably, I want to say I was like 15, maybe 16. It was funny because it's actually Thanksgiving and my mom actually bought me some beer. It wasn't a whole lot, it was just enough to like get me a little buzzed, you know. It was cool, I was just chilling, I was pounding away at the 40 and just listening to music on my phone, or I think I was like on the computer at the time, I don't know. But yeah, so that was my first drink. I remember one other day that I had a very stressful day at school. I think I was like having beef with someone, or yeah, necessarily I think I was having beef with someone, or I think I was like going through like a breakup at the time. I think I was still 16, maybe 17. My parents would have these bottles of wine under the microwave. Anyways, yeah, something like that. I ended up chugging a bottle of wine because I felt like shit that day, and then I just remember my parents were out and they were doing laundry. So that was my opportunity, my time to myself. So I just pounded away at the bottle, and I think I ended up drinking majority of the bottle. It was gone. I fucking sent that shit. So yeah, that was my first time being drunk. And after that, I never really drank again. After that, it was mostly just like the whole smoking weed and consuming edibles, which was very, very, very bad. So the first time I had a very heavy drink was fast forward all the way to 21. So that whole time, I got into working out at 17, and I would just go to the gym, I would skate. Eventually I fucking just like dropped out, and that's a whole other story. But next, fast forwarding to 21, I had my very first very strong drink, which was a shit ton of vodka. I was with my best friend Alma, and we went to the grocery store. I think I did, or I can't remember who bought it, but we picked up a bottle of fucking cheap shit. I think it was a Sky vodka, that one in the blue bottle. Remember that. We picked that up, we picked up some orange juice, and then we went back to her house just to watch like fucking movies and shit and just hang out. It was my birthday, and it was just honestly like, I'm just gonna hang out with my best friend type of thing. So we go there, start fucking pounding away at the vodka and orange juice, I think cranberry juice too. But yeah, start pounding it. We were watching some stuff, and then I remember I went on IG Live, and I just started like roasting everybody that would go on IG Live, on my IG Live. I don't know, or I think we went on her IG Live. I can't remember, but so yeah, I got one in me. Eventually it became two, and then I still wasn't feeling it, and then I got to the third third cup. I was buzzed. I was starting to get buzzed. Got to the third cup, fucking pounded that shit, and then it hit me. I was like, I was gone. That was my first time being drunk. So I was there laying down on my friend's bed, and I was like, okay, I think it's time for me to go home now because I'm getting crazy. And then I just remember her mom coming into the room, and then she was like, you know, kind of laughing a little bit because they've never really seen me like that before. I never really knew what it felt like to be like that before. So she drove me home. She didn't have any drinks, so yeah. So I remember we were going out. She was helping me to the car because I could barely stand. It was a lot. I think I drank a lot that night. And I was like, okay, I have to throw up before we go. So in front of my best friend's mom, I went in the bathroom, fucking threw up. And I was apologizing a lot, I remember. So I apologized to her, and then I hugged her, and then my friend took me home, and on the way home, she has this nice Mercedes Benz. I was like, okay, I don't want to throw up in your car, because your car's fucking nice, so please pull over so I could throw up. So we pull over, and we pull over. I remember there being a bunch of people walking by. I think it was like a Friday or Saturday night, and they were all like partying too. And I was just throwing up into this fucking sewage drain. Just, I was like, what the fuck did I do to myself? And eventually, I got back in the car, and I remember that my best friend was rubbing my back the entire time, and I just remember that making it way worse. So, yeah. She took me home. I got home. She helped me up the stairs because there's a second flight of stairs, or it's a 2-story apartment. I have to come up these big set of stairs. So I go there, I go to my bathroom, and I fucking throw up again. And I remember I passed out like this on the toilet. And yeah, I remember waking up in the middle of the night and then going to bed. And then waking up the next morning feeling amazing. My first hangover. I was in bed the whole day. And I remember that day, I had it all planned out. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go work out, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna go powerlift, boom. After that, I never really drank again. Just like a few beers here and there. Like I went out for this graduation party. I had graduated from school, and I went out with the boys. We just had a few beers, that's it. Eventually, I want to fast forward all the way to the end of the month, or the end of the year, rather. So the end of the year, I had pretty much gone through a pretty crazy year. So that year, I turned 20. I was 21, and then I turned 22. My bad. So I turned 22. I think that birthday was when I turned 22, actually. When I first had the drink. Just remembering, I can't. It's all blurry at this point. So that whole story, I didn't just turn 21. I turned 22. Okay. So I want to fast forward to the end of the year, 2017. I had gone through a bad breakup, and eventually that caused me to like delve into drinking. I had started to lose some friends at the time who I thought were really close to me. I also started getting injured from powerlifting, just being reckless. And then, of course, not being able to powerlift would cause me to drink and just play video games all day. So yeah. Eventually, 2018 comes. 2018 was like the worst year for me ever. That was when I was losing it, like really, really losing it. So, yeah, 2018 was when I really like started really grieving my breakup, because I think I was at the time just in denial, periods of denial. So that would like, I don't know, it's really weird how like all this stuff would happen. But let's go to 2018. 2018 comes, and I think that was when it started to spiral out of control, the whole drinking thing. So I remember I was talking to this girl at the time, and she flew here to LA, and we had a whole week like planned out. And I remember that whole week that she was here, I had my time wasted, and I ended up fucking drinking every single day, I think, for that whole week. Just because I was sad, and I was getting treated like shit, you know what I'm saying? So I was getting treated like shit, and then I was starting to miss my ex. I was like, okay, I miss my ex. I hate how this girl's fucking treating me. I'm not gonna talk to her ever again after this whole trip is like done and said and over with. So yeah, that was like another moment where it started spiraling out of control. So on top of that whole like drama portion of my life, I was going through work stress. I was working at a busy pharmacy, and the demand, or like the whole work, was starting to like take a toll on my mental health. And to cope with that, I would drink. Yeah, I met a lot of dope like coworkers from that job. Thankful for that. But I'm not thankful for all the emotional trauma and like fucking all that shit that I went through at that job, just like being treated like shit by people, and just being miserable every fucking day. Like, I don't miss it. So that was a thing. And then I think at the time too, I wasn't getting that much hours, so I was like stressing out about certain bills I had to pay, begging my boss for more hours. Eventually I got more hours, but then I would also, all the stress would cause me to like call off work, and then I wouldn't want to work, and then it just became this whole cycle. So eventually, I remember 2018 also, I'm going through work, going through like chick drama. I was going through a fucking identity crisis. Like, I would literally like bleach my hair and then dye half my head a different color while I was drunk. I was powerlifting. I think the only good thing that had happened to me in 2018 was meeting a really close friend who is currently not around anymore, as in not passed away. He is locked up. So I met him through social media. I always saw him as like a big brother figure. I really looked up to this guy. And at the time, he was really popping on social media. I think he had like 30K followers, which is a lot at the time, or 40K. And then eventually he came to my gym, which is Barbell Brigade Gym. And I responded to one of his stories. He was like, hey, I was like, hey, damn, you're at Barbell, I should come through. He's like, yeah, like, come through. Oh yeah, we'll do that, we'll run it. And then he followed me back, and I was like, oh shit, this dude followed me back, holy crap. Like, I've been following him for so long. I got like all nervous. Like, I got all like clammy and shaky when I walked into the gym to go lift and like meet him. So yeah, I met him, and we like instantly just like clicked, and he was like, became close. He became a big brother figure to me while he was still like free. But yeah, shit happens. Unfortunately, he was an alcoholic too, and he got in a DUI and crashed on his way home from work and ended up killing the other person. Unfortunately. So losing my friend and him ending up in prison caused me to lose, caused me to lose my big brother figure, who I was able to vent to at the time when I was going through something, and he would relate, or vice versa. I would be there for him. Losing that type of figure in my life, like a big brother figure, because I never really had a big brother figure, took a toll on my mental health. Again, I was like, fuck, like I fucking hate my job. Like nothing's working out for me. Like relationships keep failing. I keep losing my fucking friends. It's like life kept throwing all these things my way. And yeah, so I ended up losing him. He would call me from jail, but I think one day I just like missed one of his calls because I was at work, and then I never really heard back from him again. I've been trying to reach out to him again, but hopefully we can get that squared away, because I know he'd be happy to hear where I'm at currently, because the last conversation we had, I was in a really, really dark place. So knowing that he would know that I'm here 1 year and 2 months sober, he would be really happy to hear that. It did take some time, took a lot of falling down and getting up to eventually get to where I am right now. So for 30 years, so that was from 2018 all the way up until 2021. I think that's 3 years, so it's 2019, 2020, yeah, 2021. So that's 3 years of just every day drinking that much amount of alcohol. And I wasted so much time and like ruined a lot of opportunities, a lot of like networking opportunities, like getting my foot in the door with other stuff, like networking with people, and then I would like try to get my foot in the door with other stuff, but then I'd wake up the next day too hungover to go to that opportunity, and then I'd fumble it and fuck it up like bad. So yeah, it never really nothing really good happened over those few years, just meeting certain people, and got to a point where every day where I was just waking up every day feeling like shit, going to work, drinking again, knowing that I would feel like shit the next day, sometimes getting to the point where I'd have to throw up in the bathroom, and like throw up in the bathroom at work. And yeah, I just remember going through all that every day, driving to work, feeling like shit, and just wanting to change. I would listen to a lot of podcasts on my way to work while I'm feeling like that. I'm like, one day I'm gonna stop this. I'm gonna put this shit down, and I'm gonna be better. And it took every day for 3 years of me saying that for me to finally kick that habit. Because 2021 happened, and that was the year where I was just like, I'm not doing anything. I haven't met anybody new. I haven't done anything good for myself lately. I look like shit. I feel like shit. Something has to change before I fucking die. And me and my friends, we had went on this off-road trip, but before that off-road trip, my homeboy was having a birthday party for his daughter. And I remember coming to that birthday party. I made it to that birthday party. I was hungover, and I remember having a conversation with all these guys, my two homeboys, and they were just all talking about what they were into at the time, what they were very proud of accomplishing, and what they had going for themselves. And then eventually, when it got to me, my only answer was, I hate my fucking job. And yeah, that was all that I said. I was like, I hate my job, and I'm honestly not that happy with where I'm at right now. As sad as that seemed. And I remember leaving that birthday party. I was a little drunk. And I had drank a bunch of water to sober up, and I was like, man, that's crazy. Everybody at that place, that party, when they were talking about their passions or their hobbies or whatever they were proud about, they seemed very proud about it and very happy about it. But then when it came to me, I was just like, I don't know what I'm doing. And that realization was a step where I was just like, okay, all I do is just drink and wake up and feel like shit and repeat the cycle and just continue disappointing myself. So I remember after that, me and my friends had planned this off-road trip, and we had gone on that off-road trip. The week before that off-road trip, I remember we had set the time to meet up around 8 a.m. And at this point in my life, I was like, okay, I'm ready to fucking quit. I had been tired of, feeling like this. Every day waking up, my joints are aching, my fucking head hurts. I'm feeling like shit. I want to throw up. I was tired of feeling like that every single day. And feeling like that caused me to miss out on a lot of friendships, a lot of family events, me not being there for certain family members when they needed me not being there for certain friends whenever they needed me. I was tired of it all. And so that week, I was like, okay, I'm gonna try to slowly pick up my good habits again. And I was able to quit. But before that, I had made previous attempts to quit, and I was scared that I was gonna end up falling on my face again and picking that bottle back up and doing it again, because it would last for about 2-3 days, and then I would just pick up the bottle again and then repeat it, and then I'd have that oh shit moment, I'm not fucking doing what I'm supposed to be doing. So then I would just repeat that cycle over and over again for 3 years. Just, okay, I'm done. No, go back to doing it. I'm done. Okay, go back to doing it. So yeah, that week of that off-road trip, I was done. I was like, all right. And I remember the first 2 days were the hardest. And I was like, okay, this is my second day not drinking. Let me see if I could do a third day. On that third day, I didn't know what to do. I really did not know what to do. I got really bored, and I remembered, I was like, I've been wanting to watch this anime, and the anime is called Berserk. A lot of people like Berserk. It has personally become one of my favorites. It's an anime that will always be near and dear to my heart because it helped me keep my mind away from alcohol at the time, and it's something that I still continue to watch frequently. I think the last time I watched Berserk was 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago. So yeah, that was the start of a new beginning. And I just remember every day I would just watch a new episode of Berserk up until that off-road trip. And I was feeling good, and I noticed that I felt slimmer. Probably from losing all like the bloating from all the alcohol. And I remember watching this pro skater, Dean Williams. I've always watched him growing up, and he was also an alcoholic and like into the whole party life thing before he got sober. He's like all into working out and just taking care of his body and all that stuff. So I just remember one day he just popped back on my feed on Instagram, and I was like, oh shit, he got sober. And he would post a lot of like cooking clips, him working out with like kettlebells. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna use his workouts as a means of me getting back into working out again. So I got my membership back at Barbell Brigade, and I eventually just like started working out again, slowly losing weight, cleaning up my diet, because at the time all I ate when I was drinking was just like comfort food, like hot chicken, Chinese food, all that stuff. Yeah, so eventually it got to that point, and I was like, okay, I need to undo all the shit that I've done to my body. So I weighed myself, and I weighed about 189 or 188. I was really big. All of it was just on my stomach and my face. Like I looked like a sumo wrestler. It may not sound like a lot of weight, but for someone who's 5'5", that's a lot of weight. Eventually it got to a point where I picked up, instead of going to the liquor store, I would just go to the grocery store and pick out food and find a recipe on Neen's page that I wanted to try out. And so I'd end up cooking it, and I'd think of that food as fuel for my next workout. So eventually it got to a point where I lost 15 pounds, and I was feeling great. I was at my happiest. I was at my happiest. And I was starting to reconnect with all my friends again. They were all coming back into my life, and I was just fixing everything. Yeah. Just like rebuilding all those relationships that I had broken in the past or fell out of. It was really refreshing to go back and be friends with them again. But yeah, I just remember also too, when we went on that off-road trip, it was my first week sober, and I got offered a beer, and I was like, hey man, I'm good. I'm trying to quit drinking, and it was really refreshing to see that my friend was very supportive. He was like, hey man, that's cool. I'm like, yeah, I'm trying to make this like a long-term thing. And so we had a fun day. I was like, oh shit, I'm able to have fun sober. Like, I forgot what this felt like. And then I just remember going home that day and feeling very accomplished, like turning away that drink. All right, so 2022, this year. It's been a crazy year so far, but it's been a good year. I was able to finally leave that toxic work environment that was really bad for my mental health. One, I ended up working at a waste lower pharmacy where I'm able to just chill all day and not have to worry about who's gonna fucking yell at me next or have anxiety while I'm driving to work. I was able to leave that place and work somewhere else. I had made some new friends that I was able to experience, like going to like all these food places with. I discovered Round One, this Japanese arcade thing where they got like all these prizes. It was really cool. I blew a lot of money on that place. That was my addiction at one point. I Despite of having all these good things happen in 2022, I did have some speed bumps. So I got jumped. I got jumped in March, and that was a pretty traumatic experience. I'm not gonna lie. Like, getting my ass beat for the first time in a long time was very traumatic. But the way how I was able to cope with that traumatic experience in my life, I'm very proud of, because yes, I allowed myself to feel those emotions and of paranoia, sadness, all that stuff, and I didn't leave the house for like 3 days. I'm not gonna lie, but I pushed myself to leave the house. I was like, hey, I need to go leave the house, and then eventually I picked up a new passion, something that really made me excited, which is Muay Thai. My friend Alex and my friend Willie, who've both been training in Muay Thai for quite a while, Alex being more of a jiu-jitsu guy, they had taught me the basics. And I wanted to learn this because when I was getting jumped, I felt helpless for the first time in my life, or second time in my life, I guess, if you want to say that. But I never wanted to feel that vulnerable during a very dangerous situation ever again. Getting my fucking face beaten in, that shit sucked. Yeah, so I ended up picking up Muay Thai this year. Ended up getting a raise at my new job. I reconnected with some family members, which made me really happy. Yeah, I'm really happy in my job, really happy with where my sobriety has led me. I've accomplished fitness goals, like losing 30 pounds again, getting in the best shape of my life currently. Like, I'm not the strongest. I feel like I am getting to that point where I am having the best physique of my life right now compared to like the past. I did form new relationships with other women. Fortunately, it did not work out, but I was glad that I was able to experience those things again for the first time in a long time. It just was really good to remind myself that, hey, you're not always going to be alone, and life is always going to have its ups and downs, but it's going to be the way that you choose to go on about it. And the way that I chose to go on about it, yes, I chose to go on about it with a clear mind this time and not have to pick up any alcohol, shit like that. So yeah, right now, we're in October. I still got like 3 more months left. Yes, some things have sucked this year, but I'm trying to be more thankful for the good things that have happened this year. Like picking up Muay Thai, losing weight, reaching 1 year of sobriety, leaving that job, meeting this girl and having a beautiful relationship while it was still around. I'm thankful for all those things because it just reminded me that there's good shit that has to happen eventually in your life. But before all that good shit has to happen in your life, there's gonna be bad shit. And right now, things are sucking again. But I know that I just have to let time do its thing and continue to push through with a clear mind. And at the end of the day, I write my own story. And you should remember that too. It's something my best friend told me. You write your own story, bro. And yeah, it's been a crazy year so far. So we got 3 more years, and I don't honestly plan on drinking ever again. From here, originally my plan with this whole getting sober thing was to just stop for a while and then eventually just be able to socially drink again. But I've been able to go out to social events, like going to a club for the first time a week ago. My first time going to a club, I went sober. I was still able to have fun. I went to a really close friend's wedding about 2 weeks before that, and I was able to enjoy that night without a drink of alcohol in me. Like, I'm glad that I'm able to go back and look at those moments and remember them for what they are, and not have to like drink to feel confident about myself or whatever. Which also too, as I started to get sober, my confidence went way more up there. My positivity went way more up there. And the energy I was giving out to the universe slowly pulled all that into me, like what I was giving out. So all the good shit just started coming. Like picking up Muay Thai, learning that, meeting this girl, making new friends, like all that stuff just gravitated towards me. All because I just like got sober and started putting out positivity into the world around me. Some of my friends on social media have some questions on what I did to get sober, when were my breaking points, what diets did I follow to lose weight. Big motivation for me changing was looking in the mirror one day and seeing that I wasn't the person that I wanted to be. Like, I knew that past me, if they were to see what I became, they would be disappointed, because I was disappointed in myself. Big breaking point was driving home from work early one day because I was really hungover, and I had asked to leave early because I felt like shit. I never wanted to do that again, but unfortunately it happened again 4 or 6 more times. After that last time, I'm glad that was the last time that's ever had to happen. And yeah, all those days, all those moments driving to work or being in the parking lot of work and I'm feeling like shit, hating my fucking self, that was my biggest motivator and a big breaking point. So mindset progression, the mindset that I like having right now, even though I'm going through something, is always try to go through it with a clear mind. And yes, life isn't always gonna go the way you want it to, unfortunately, but you just have to allow yourself to feel the pain and accept what is going on. What already happened. Let's say you go through something traumatic in your life, like you lose a friend or you go through a breakup. You can't go back in time, unfortunately, to relive those moments. So you have to appreciate it while you have it then and there. And you can't go back in time and change whatever outcome you ended up with. Whatever outcome you ended up with is what you have. And you just have to accept it. That's what it is. You take from it and you grow and you move on. That's it. Yeah, I just try to move on from any bad experience or like losing someone or anything like that. I just try to take from it and move on. Because yeah, there's always gonna be new experiences, new memories to be made in life. You don't know what's gonna happen in the future. So yeah, my mindset progression. I like to say that I've very much matured compared to when I was drinking or before I was drinking. Like, in a way, I'm kind of thankful that I went through what I had to go through, because it made me more thankful for what I have in front of me, which is my life and people around me and all that stuff. So yeah, it sucks that I had to go through 3 years of feeling like shit, but I'm glad it happened to me because it taught me a valuable lesson. Which is, it's always better to go through life with a clear mind, and whatever life throws at you, you just have to accept it and do your best to keep going forward. Are there any healthy fast food places? I guess Chipotle. Honestly, my go-to when I'm like lazy is Yoshinoya. There's also Waba Girl. I don't know. Over here in LA, there's like a lot of options. Lately, my go-to has been McDonald's. Yeah, so top 3 I'd have to say is Chipotle, Yoshinoya, and Waba Girl. The homie asks, life goals. Life goals right now. I really want to continue pursuing this whole content thing, and the reason why I'm making this video is because I wanted to reach out to other dudes, other women who were going through what I was going through, and they just need that voice. They need someone to relate to, you know. Hopefully my story can inspire others to just want to be the best version of themselves, mentally and physically. Yeah, my current life goal right now is to continue pursuing, to make content. I want to be consistent with that again. Eventually quit my job one day, all that stuff. Work my ass off for that shit. I want to have my own house one day. I want to have a project car. Eventually have a family one day. Just honestly, like, simple things are like my big main goals right now. It's like having a house and having a family one day. Eventually have a dog too. Yeah, honestly, those are just my simple goals. I want to also be able to travel to like crazy ass places like fucking Japan, fucking Turkey, fucking Philippines, Hawaii. I want to go to all those places and just experience all the world. I got to finally like leave California and experience what other states here are like, and it made me want to leave California even more. So yeah, traveling definitely is a life goal as well. So I guess I'm gonna cut the video there. It was definitely hard talking in front of a camera about like my life traumas and shit like that. So yeah, it's just, I'm gonna just close that video off. My social medias, Mike Wasabi on Instagram and Impalermike on TikTok and YouTube and Twitter. If you guys wanna follow me on there, I like interacting with people, so send questions, look at my cringy content. Yeah, so till the next video.